Welcome back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and today it is time for early Oscar predictions for the acting categories. Some stuff has very much changed. We got more trailers, we got the Cannes lineup, even though more films are likely to be added, and also we've gotten the reviews for Sinners, which I'm not gonna lie has kind of drastically changed my predictions. I am thinking this probably gets into picture, considering the reviews are outstanding. I mean, well, granted, the second batch of reviews haven't come out yet, so we'll see how well that holds up, but right now it's holding a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and a very high 8 plus out of 10, average rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So, like, if this movie is, like, a box office success, which it probably will be, I am really thinking Sinners could be that big, sort of blockbustery surprise. But still, let's get on with the predictions. We're going to start with lead actress, and admittedly with the acting categories, I struggle very hard when it comes to this, because we don't really know, like, how big of a role someone's going to have in a film, especially if it's in supporting. So, like, I'm trying to put a lot of my bets on, like, bigger, like, Best Picture contenders, because if you're in Best Picture, you're more likely to be nominated for an acting award. Like, if you're not in Best Picture, you're kind of vulnerable. Now, one could argue, well, I mean, Kieran Culkin just won, but sure, but he's the exception. Like, most of the time, you need to be in Best Picture if you're going to win an Oscar. And even, being nominated, you're still vulnerable if you're not in Best Picture. So right now, I'm going to go with Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. Like, everyone's doing that, and perhaps, maybe. Again, there's still that looming thing of, like, is Luca Guadagnino going to make, like, an actual Oscar film? Like, the first one he's done since Call Me By Your Name? I'm not exactly sure. Going off of the premise for After the Hunt, it says, a college professor finds herself at a personal and professional crossroads when a star pupil levels an accusation against one of her colleagues, and a dark secret from her own past threatens to come to life. This could be a very, like, juicy role for Julia Roberts, especially if this film is in Best Picture. So perhaps maybe this could, like, get her the win right now, but then again, I don't know. Again, it's so far off in the year, like, anything could happen. I would not be surprised if none of these actresses ended up getting in. Then we got Renate Reinsve for Sentimental Value. If this film, like, wins the Palme d'Or and becomes, like, a Best Picture contender, then Renate Reinsve could, pull in, or not pull in, but like could end up getting nominated, could end up being, coming along with the film. But I don't know. And, like, we don't even know if it's, like, truly, like, an international film, like, in terms of, like, being, like, mostly not in English. There's still not a lot that's really known about that. Then Emma Stone for Begonia. I was wondering if she was supporting, but from what I'm hearing, she is lead. So I think probably she'll get in. But it's so weird, because, like, Begonia is supposedly not the film I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be, like, sort of, like, aesthetically, like, Poor Things or The Favorite in space. It's not going to be like that, apparently. So it's kind of hard to really see what's going to be happening with the film. I'll go for Jessie Buckley and Hamnet right now, because this seems like something that would maybe be in the bubble for Best Picture, and Jessie Buckley could probably get nominated, but again, who knows. Then I got Zoe Dutch for Nouvelle Vague. This has been confirmed for Cannes, and again, I've been saying, I think there could be a chance we might be underestimating Nouvelle Vague, because, again, it's Richard Linklater doing a very different kind of, film from what he usually does. Like, this isn't a, this is more of an artistic film, like, with, black and white cinematography, 4:3 aspect ratio, completely in French actors. And out of all the actors in the film, I mean, Zoe Dutch is probably the most well-known, so maybe she could come along with it, but I'm not sure. Amanda Seyfried for Anne Lee. This makes sense, but I'm not completely sold on Mona Fastvold, because, she and Brittany Corbet are involved in this film, but, I'm just not sure. Again, like they've never had like an Oscar film until The Brutalist. So we'll have to see what happens there. I'm not, again, I got Rebecca Ferguson for the untitled Catherine Bigelow political thriller. Because again, when it comes to the two films that Catherine Bigelow got into Best Picture, you know, they did get acting nominations. The leads got acting nominations. So I do think if Catherine Bigelow's film is in Best Picture, Rebecca Ferguson, if she is the lead, I think will probably get nominated. I got Sydney Sweeney for the untitled Christy Martin biopic. I'm not exactly sure because boxing films don't usually get in. I'm not exactly sure if it's boxing or if it's MMA, but like, I could probably maybe see like, you know, SAG happening. I could see SAG happening, but again, I'm just not exactly sure what this film is going to be. Tessa Thompson for Hedda, I'm not exactly sure. Again, like this film could be a thing, but it could also not be a thing as well. It's just so hard to tell because we just don't really know a whole lot about it. I think this is like based off of like a very well-acclaimed stage show, but I'm not exactly sure. And speaking of stage shows, Jessica Lange for Long Day's Journey into Night. I would have this higher, except this movie has just not come out. This was supposed to come out 2 years ago, or at the very least maybe last year. It just keeps getting pushed back, and I'm starting to think maybe they don't like the film. But again, I don't know, because people say that in the stage show, Jessica Lange was very, very good in the film. No, in the show, but again, I don't know. Maybe this could also be a SAG thing and just doesn't repeat at the Oscars. Who knows? Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good. This is purely only because I'm not that confident in Wicked for Good, because everyone says that the stage version of Act 2 is significantly worse than Act 1. Like, that's the only reason why I'm not predicting her. If this movie actually does turn out to be a lot better than I thought, if it actually does get, some good buzz and actually is considered maybe even better than the last one, then I think Cynthia Erivo will repeat for a nomination. Daniela Lopez for The Wave. Now, this is apparently like a musical film, and I'm very curious about this one. It's about a Chilean student who becomes involved in a feminist movement in her university. Suddenly, she becomes a central figure in the movement. Now, this could be fascinating. I am kind of wondering if this could be like a Best Picture thing. Although, granted, like, I don't know, people are just going to immediately think Emilia Perez, even though it's probably not that at all. I mean, well, for one, I think actual Chilean, filmmakers are behind it, so it's not good. So it's probably not going to be offensive. Again, if this film is a big thing, and it is at Cannes, although it's not competing for the Palme d'Or, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. But I do want to keep my eye out for it. I want to keep my eye out. Margot Robbie for A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. I don't really think this is going to be a thing, if I'm going to be honest. Like, this road trip thing is just like, I don't know if that's going to be like an actual thing that happens, so I don't know. Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love. I mean, Die My Love sounds nothing like an Oscar film. It sounds absolutely nothing like an Oscar film. So it's like, I don't think that's happening. Lucy Liu for Rosemead. Apparently this one seems like it's like very much geared towards getting Lucy Liu a nomination, because this film is about it's based on the true story that took place in the San Gabriel Valley. The film follows an immigrant mother, Liu, with terminal cancer who takes desperate measures to help her unstable teenage son as she uncovers his growing obsession with mass shootings. Like, I don't know how much this is going to be like a Best Picture thing, but I could definitely see the narrative forming around Lucy Liu. Like, she's never really gotten her flowers. But I don't know. Maybe this would just be like SAG and doesn't repeat. But I do want to look out for this one. I do want to look out. Mari Yamamoto for Rental Family. I'm just kind of putting her in there because maybe Brendan Fraser could be a thing. But then again, I don't exactly know. I don't even know if she's going supporting. That's how much I'm so unsure about all of this right now. Emma Mackey for Ella McKay. I would put this up higher, but James L. Brooks has not really been on a strong winning streak. I mean, the last film he did was How Do You Know, which was not well received at all. And even though this has a stacked cast, like a lot of, James L. Brooks movies are, I don't know. I think maybe James L. Brooks might be one of those filmmakers who probably doesn't get modern audiences. So I'm not exactly sure. Zendaya for the drama. I don't really believe in this film. It just kind of sounds like a generic drama that doesn't really go anywhere. Amy Adams for At the Sea. This is one of those, recovering addict films. It's like, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like that ship has kind of sailed, I feel. Cate Blanchett for Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. I think this is directed by Jim Jarmusch, but his films never really get into the Oscars, so I don't know. But then again, literally just today, it was announced that, Cate Blanchett wants to retire from acting, so maybe that kind of narrative could push her to a nomination, and maybe people want to give her her last Oscar, like, who knows. But yeah, June Squibb for Eleanor the Great. This is going to Cannes. I don't think this is happening. But yeah, we'll at least keep an eye out for it. And then Anne Hathaway for Mother Mary. I don't really have faith in this at all. Mainly because the director doesn't really make Oscar films. So yeah. Lead actor. Oh boy, we got a lot of things to discuss here. Right now, I'll go with Jeremy Allen White for Deliver Me From Nowhere, because I do think this film is getting in a picture, and he is playing, Bruce Springsteen. Like, that could at least get him SAG, perhaps. And then I got Matthew McConaughey for The Rivals of Amziah King. If I have this film in picture, I have to predict Matthew McConaughey to get in. George Clooney for Jay Kelly. I think, like another fun thing about my prediction updates, I'm now predicting Jay Kelly to win Best Picture. Because I can already see it, like original screenplay, supporting actor for Adam Sandler, which you'll see here in a bit. I think maybe Jay Kelly could be like a big player. But again, who knows? Daniel Day-Lewis for Anemone. Now, granted, this is being directed by, his son, so we don't really know if this is going to be all that successful. But right now, I'll considering it's this early in the year, I'll put in Daniel Day-Lewis because I don't want to, doubt him right now. Although this film looks relatively modern compared to some of his other films. Like, I think all the films he has been nominated for an Oscar for were like period films. So there have you that. And Jesse Plemons for Begonia. I think if this film is in picture, he'll probably get in, especially if he's the lead. That's what I'm going to go with. Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. Now, I think he probably will get close. He could probably get a Golden Globe nomination and maybe SAG, but I don't know if he's going to get an Oscar nomination for Sinners. I don't know. Now, if the buzz around the film is like, oh my God, this is Michael B. Jordan's best performance, he's never been better, and it's like people just keep talking about him, then I'll put him in. But I don't know. This could definitely be like one of those films where it doesn't really get any acting nominations, but it becomes a big tech player, which I do think it'll be. Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another. I do think this film will taper off. Again, there still is a chance that it might not even get nominated for Best Picture. If it flops at the box office, it's kind of game over. It's game over. So I don't know. I think Leo will definitely get like a couple of precursors, like the Golden Globe comedy, like as at least locked. But I don't know exactly what his path is going to be from there on out. Willem Dafoe for Late Fame. I don't know. I heard some people saying that he could be like a big thing in this. So we'll have to see. Actually, let me check and see, what this film is fully about, because maybe this could tell us a little bit more. I mean, granted, I have looked it up, but I don't really have the best memory. Okay. It says, A long time ago, Ed Saxberger wrote a story of poetry that no one ever cared about. When a group of young artists rediscover his work, he must reassess his genius. The wild card in the group is Gloria, a talented and mercurial theater actress who toys with affections and who is all set to be admired by Saxberger. Again, I'm not exactly sure. But so that's kind of like why I'm not putting Willem Dafoe in right now. But just to like think about it a little bit, Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme. I know you're, and for anyone who doesn't know, I don't really buy Marty Supreme yet. This just feels like A24 is trying too hard to get an Oscar. Like that, like this budget, this weird cast. It's like it doesn't scream Oscar to me. It just doesn't. Dwayne Johnson for The Smashing Machine. I would predict him if it weren't for the test screening reactions that came out and said that the film is like not an Oscar thing at all. But then again, who knows? People might still like if this movie comes out and people go, man, and they're just like cheering on for like Dwayne Johnson. Again, maybe he could get like a precursor, maybe SAG. But again, I don't know. We'll have to see. Colin Farrell for The Ballad of a Small Player. I don't think I have this in Best Picture anymore, I don't think. Yeah, I don't. But again, I don't know what's happening with this film. Is this going to be like the classic Edward Berger Oscar bait stuff, or is it not? So there's too many questions there, so I'm not exactly sure. Brendan Fraser for Rental Family. If this film is like a crowd pleaser and people really, really like it, then he'll probably come along with it, or bring the film with his nomination. But again, I'm not exactly sure. Paul Mescal for Hamnet. This depends on if he's lead actor or supporting actor. Again, I don't know. I don't have this in Best Picture right now, so I'm not going to put him in. Oscar Isaac for Frankenstein. I will say, if Frankenstein does become like a legit Best Picture contender, I think I'll have to predict Oscar Isaac, because this is like, considering like the character of Victor Frankenstein is like, he is very fascinating. Like he's really obsessed with creating life, but he could also, if this movie also focuses on like the father-son aspect between Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster, there could be some emotional beats in there for Oscar Isaac. We'll have to see. Joaquin Phoenix for Eddington. The trailer for this popped up today, and this is going to Cannes, and I will say, this does look like it could be Ari Aster's most commercial film yet. And if this movie is his most commercial film yet, then he could definitely, get nominated. Like, if this film gets in picture, of course he's going to get nominated. And I could honestly see a lot of other nominations for, at least above the line. Idris Elba for Untitled Catherine Bigelow political thriller. Again, I don't exactly know what this film is. I mean, I've looked up the plot and stuff, but I don't know how strong of an acting player it will be, and if, Idris Elba would be that strong in it, or at least his character gives him enough material to be very strong in it. I'm not exactly sure. Paul Mescal. Oh no, I have Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice. This is not going to Cannes, which is very fascinating because this is the exact kind of film that would go to Cannes. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this. I mean, maybe it's going to Venice. I'm not exactly sure. But if this film is in Best Picture, I do think he will come along with the film, but only if this film is in Best Picture. If it's not in Best Picture, he's so not getting in. Paul Mescal for The History of Sound. This is going to Cannes. Again, I just don't really know what to make of this film. It doesn't sound like an Oscar thing, but who knows? Benicio del Toro for The Phoenician Scheme. This does seem like he's like more of a lead than most other Wes Anderson leads, Like, we haven't really had like obviously, yes, Jason Schwartzman was the lead of The French Dispatch, but let's be fair here, like, it wasn't really like a character piece for Jason Schwartzman. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe, but I don't know. It also depends on like how well this film is received. Like, if this is like, people go, oh man, welcome back, Wes Anderson. He's back. He's better than ever. Then perhaps he'll come along with it. But right now, I think people are kind of tired of Wes Anderson. What is it? Oh yeah, Matthew McConaughey for The Lost Bus. I already have him in for Messiah King. I think that's going to be stronger than Lost Bus, so I don't think he's going to get in for this. Paul Bettany for The Collaboration. Sort of like Long Day's Journey into Night, this movie has been coming out forever. It's like, why hasn't it not come out yet? And I think it probably means that the studio does not like this film and they're going to just bury it. So, yeah, I don't know. Robert Pattinson for the drama. Again, it just sounds like something kind of like a generic drama thing that they're not going to do. Denzel Washington for Highest to Lowest. This, apparently he is the lead. But however, from what I understand, Highest to Lowest did not get into the competition at Cannes. And instead is going to be like some other kind of screening batch. And that probably means they don't really like his film all that much. So yeah, I'm him as in like Spike Lee. So probably not gonna happen. Daniel Craig for Wake Up Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery. He'll get the Golden Globe nomination for comedy musical actor. I don't think he's gonna get in unless this is like the best, Knives Out movie yet, and people are just head over heels over it. Like people are saying, man, this couldn't be any better, and maybe they could bring him along with it. Like, hey, it's finally time to give Daniel Craig an Oscar. I mean, he did just get, not nominated for Queer, so maybe, but I don't know. I don't think Knives Out is the kind of film that would get like acting nominations. Ed Harris for Long Day's Journey to Night. I don't think that's going to happen. Again, the movie just does not exist. Andrew Scott for Pressure. Again, I'm not exactly sure about this one. I don't know. Colin Farrell for A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Again, this is like not like this is a road trip movie. I don't think this is going to happen. And then hold on a sec. Tanatia for Kiss of the Spider Woman. Now, this has been, acquired by Lionsgate, and they're planning for like an October release, I think, which is fascinating. I wonder if they're going to really put like a campaign behind Kiss of the Spider Woman. Because again, it always seemed weird to me that it like premiered at Sundance. And it's like, why would this not like premiere at like TIFF or something? That's very strange. Maybe Lionsgate will release it at TIFF because they feel like that's where it'll get more eyes, but we will have to see. Supporting actress. This is one where I genuinely have no idea what's going on here. I'm completely clueless. Right now, as a placeholder, I'll put in Angelina Looking Glass for The Rivals of Messiah King. Again, probably not going to happen, but again, it's just like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm not sure what's going on. Io Adebari for After the Hunt. I think she'll get nominated. I don't think, like, again, we don't know what's going on with some of these films. And I guess, like, with Angelina Looking Glass, I'm just going to assume, like, maybe this is, like, a big, supporting performance where it's like, man, like, she was really good in the film. Like, my God, how come we have not seen this person before? But again, who knows? This is probably the one I'm most confused over out of all these categories. Laura Dern and Jay Kelly, from what I understand, she might be like the most prominent, actress in the film. So maybe supporting, but again, I don't know. Riley Q for Jay Kelly. Again, if I think it's winning Best Picture, maybe the film could like get like a bunch of acting nominations. But again, I don't know. Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value. I'm just spitballing here. I genuinely have no idea what's going on. Tilda Swinton for The Ballad of a Small Player. Maybe. Again, if the film... I don't know. Haley Steinfeld in Sinners. I'm only putting her in the list because, I don't know, maybe she gets SAG. Maybe she gets, like, Critics' Choice. But, I just don't know. I just do not know. Alicia Silverstone for Begonia. Emma Stone for Eddington. Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine. Gwyneth Paltrow for Marty Supreme. Again, I don't have much faith in Marty Supreme as is. Glenn Close for Wake Up Dead Man. Again, if Wake Up Dead Man is like in Best Picture, maybe she could get in. I mean, she hasn't been nominated since Hillbilly Elegy. But again, I don't exactly know. Fran Drescher for Marty Supreme. See, it's casting choices like this, where it's like the casting in Marty Supreme is so random. I just have no idea what to make of it. Ariana Grande for Wicked for Good. Again, if this film is in Best Picture, if this is not considered a disappointment, I'll put it right back in. But right now, I'm just hearing too many, I just can't do it based off of what I've heard of the second act of Wicked. Greta Lee for Untitled, Catherine Bigelow political thriller. Again, I don't know how big of an acting contender this is. Thomasin McKenzie for Anne Lee. I don't know. Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. And then the same thing goes for like Regina Hall for One Battle After Another. From what we're hearing, it's like those two are not like big in the film at all. Like they're not big acting contenders, so probably not. Jennifer Lopez for Kiss of the Spider Woman. Again, if this film is in Best Picture, she will come along with it. And maybe she could win, but only if the film is in Best Picture. What was it? Jamie Lee Curtis for Ella McKay. Again, this makes sense if this wasn't for the fact that James L. Brooks is not a reliable filmmaker. So I can't really go off of that right now. Emily Watson for Hamnet. Nina Haas for Hedda. Mia Goth for Frankenstein. I don't know. Zoe Kravitz. Sissy Spacek. I'm just looking at all this. I don't know. Yun Jung for The Wedding Banquet. Only if this film is like a really big box office success, but I don't even know about that. So again, I have no idea what's going on supporting actress. So like, if you think I'm having any like bad predictions here, keep in mind I just don't know what I'm doing in supporting actress. This is so hard. And then supporting actor, it's a little bit easier, but then again, I don't know. If I think Jay Kelly's winning Best Picture, I do think Adam Sandler would win supporting actor, especially from what we're hearing. They're saying Adam Sandler is the standout. This could finally be his time. Mark Hamill for The Life of Chuck. This is interesting because if The Life of Chuck is winning Best Picture, I think he'd come along with it. So it's very interesting. Whatever wins Best Picture between these two, I think would determine who wins Best Supporting Actor. Because technically, Mark Hamill's been around for even longer than Adam Sandler. And, he's like, he's Luke Skywalker, and, he's also a big voice actor, being the Joker, and now he's kind of made like a comeback to live action films. So take that for what you will. Stellan Skarsgård for sentimental value. If this film is in Best Picture, probably, yeah. Andrew Garfield for After the Hunt. Now, apparently, he's playing more the antagonistic professor, which would be fascinating for him to play. And Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, which granted, this is like the only acting nomination I have for the film. So again, I just don't really know what's going on there. Jeremy Strong for Deliver Me From Nowhere, perhaps, or maybe it would be Stephen Graham, but I don't know who's I think one of the reasons why the supporting category is really hard is because you don't know who's like how big, if someone is a supporting role, you don't really know how big of a supporting role someone is. That kind of becomes a problem. Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another. It's weird because like when I saw the trailer, it everyone's saying, from those who've seen it, that Sean Penn is the standout. But from the trailers, it kind of made it look like Benicio del Toro was the standout supporting role. So again, I don't know. Austin Butler for Eddington. I feel like if this film does become like a big Cannes favorite and gets into Best Picture, he might come along with the film. There's also the idea of the possibility of Pedro Pascal, but again, I don't know. Josh O'Connor for The History of Sound. This is where I'm starting to not know what to do here. Stephen Graham for Deliver Me From Nowhere. Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. If Frankenstein's in Best Picture, I think maybe Jacob Elordi could probably come along with it. Christoph Waltz for Frankenstein. Again, I don't know how big of a role he has. Kurt Russell for The Rivals of Mziah King. I've heard no one really talk about Kurt Russell, so maybe he's not like a big part in the film, but I don't know. Jonathan Bailey. I have heard that his character has significantly more meat in Act 2, but again, if the film's not in Best Picture, he's gonna drop too. So I don't know. Miles Caton for Sinners. I've heard some people shout him out. I need to see like how like everyone responds to him. Like, oh my god, he is like a star in the making. So who knows? Al Pacino for In the Hand of Dante. Maybe, I don't know. Paul Walter Hauser for Delivery from Nowhere. Tahar Rahim for Alpha. I think Alpha is premiering at Cannes. Gerard Butler for The Hand of Dante. I don't know. Robert Pattinson for Die My Love. Again, I feel like this just sounds like it's not an Oscars thing. Andrew Scott for Blue Moon. Jeremy Pope for The Collaboration. Again, The Collaboration is probably just a movie that does not exist. Tyler, the Creator for Marty Supreme. Again, even if this is in Best Picture, probably not. Was it Joe Alwyn for Hamnet? Probably not. I don't know. Again, I'm just kind of looking through it. It's like, I don't know. I genuinely do not know what's going on here. Genuinely. And this one's a little bit easier. SAG Ensemble. All right. I think if I have Jay Kelly winning Best Picture, I'm going to predict it to win SAG Ensemble. However, Marriage Story did not get nominated for SAG Ensemble. So what I'm wondering is, like, does SAG like Noah Baumbach movies? I'm not exactly sure. The Life of Chuck could probably also win SAG Ensemble. Again, this would help determine who's winning Best Picture, because it does have a big, likable cast. A lot of, like, big names, a lot of, you know, names that aren't the biggest, but, like, they still kind of, like, they're sort of like character actors. You got a lot of them in there, so maybe that could happen. The Rivals of Amziah King. I'm wondering if this could actually win Best Picture. No, win Best not Ensemble, but if it can get into Best Ensemble and not just be, you know, Power of the Dog or The Brutalist. But it doesn't, but like, granted, it is a musical, so I don't know if it's going to be like that. Deliver Me From Nowhere could maybe get in. I mean, you know, A Complete Unknown did. Bohemian Rhapsody did. So, I don't know. But then again, Maestro didn't. But then again, everyone kind of hated Maestro. So, I'm not really sure what to make of it. And Sinners. Sinners maybe could get into SAG Ensemble. Even if it doesn't get any acting nominations at the Oscars, maybe this could get in. Now, granted, I do have all 5 of these in Best Picture. And it's so weird because I don't want to predict, like, all 5 of them being Best Picture nominees. Yes, it happened this year, but usually the SAG Ensemble doesn't go that way. At least one of those slots goes to a film that ultimately does not get into Best Picture. Like The Color Purple, like Babylon, like House of Gucci, like The Five Bloods, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and One Night in Miami, and then previously you had Bombshell, and then previously I think you had Crazy Rich Asians. So it's like, generally it's like that. Oh, and also The Big Sick, I think, happened the previous year, and also, I don't know if it was The Big Sick, or if it was, I know Mudbound got in, but even if Big Sick didn't get into SAG Ensemble, you at least have Mudbound. So basically, I know for a fact, like, one of these films is, or maybe not a fact, but you know what I mean. One of these films is just not going to be a Best Picture film, or like one of the slots is not going to be a Best Picture film. Again, yes, it happened this year at SAG, but that is the exception, not the rule. I'm not going to base my predictions off of, you know, the exception. Typically, you want to go 4 out of 5 with what you're predicting in Best Picture. And again, I have 5 out of 5 right now, but that's only because I have no idea what's going on right now. I could do Wicked for good, but again, is this going to be a film that is strong enough to even get SAG Ensemble? Because if it's that much of a Best Picture disappointment, then it just might not get SAG Ensemble. So I don't know. One battle after another, maybe, but I don't think Paul Thomas Anderson movies get nominated for SAG Ensemble that much. The Ballad of a Small Player, I don't know if it has that big of an ensemble. After the Hunt, Eddington maybe could get SAG Ensemble, honestly. Again, I'm very curious to see how the reviews are for Eddington and how much people like it, because this also does seem like it, again, like I said, it looks like it's going to be Ari Aster's most commercial film to date, so watch out for that. Marty Supreme, I mean, maybe. But again, I don't know. Again, this cast is so weird. And yes, I know Fran Drescher is the president of SAG, but I don't think they're going to give her give the film a nomination just for that. I don't think so. Ella McKay, this does make sense for SAG Ensemble, honestly. But again, I just don't have much faith in the film itself. Wake Up Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery. This should be a no-brainer, but SAG has never nominated the Knives Out movies for SAG Ensemble, so I can't do that. Begonia, I'm not doing that because The Favorite didn't get in, and Poor Things didn't get in, so I think they just don't like Yorgos Lanthimos movies. The Phoenician Scheme, they're kind of hit or miss when it comes to Wes Anderson, but again, I think only if this is like a Best Picture contender, like a legitimate one, will it probably get in. The Smashing Machine, I don't know. It does have some very big name actors, but I don't know about that right now. Frankenstein, I mean, even Nightmare Alley and The Shape of Water didn't get SAG Ensemble, so even if somehow Frankenstein got into Best Picture, I don't think they would nominate it for SAG Ensemble. Nouvelle Vague, I mean, it sort of makes sense, but at the same time, it's also like a completely French cast, and I don't know, like SAG doesn't really like international films all that much, unless they are like top 3 for Best Picture, like Emilia Perez, or at least at the time of nominations, it was in the top 3, and you also had Parasite, but right now I'm probably not gonna call that right now. What is it? Oh yeah, highest to lowest, again, I don't know. I mean, Black Klansman got in and Da 5 Bloods got in, but Da 5 Bloods was like at least somewhat in the bubble for Best Picture. If this is not in the bubble for Best Picture, it probably won't get nominated, but we'll have to see. Hamnet, I don't know. I don't know. Rental Family, if this does become a big crowd pleaser and does become like a legit Oscar contender, then yeah, you might want to do that. Sentimental Value, I don't know. Probably not. Untitled Catherine Bigelow political thriller, Kiss of the Spider-Woman, I don't think the cast is even that big. Anne Lee, The Wedding Banquet, the collaboration, probably not. I mean, again, the Wedding Banquet makes sense for SAG. They do like their clap their hands happy movies. But, however, I don't think they're going to like this film all that much. Again, this is just so confusing because, again, I know, like, again, when it comes to the acting categories, I'm probably the most clueless when it comes to them. So, again, if I make a bad prediction for the acting categories, please keep in mind, I don't know what at all is going on with acting. But now, I'm going to pass the question off to you. What are your predictions for the acting categories plus SAG Ensemble? And keep in mind, next week, I'm going to be doing my below-the-line Oscar predictions, which will include the new Best Casting category. I can't wait to talk about that with you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, you're not going to get kissed by a Spider-Woman.